Florence, I'm gonna start with you because while I know that this movie is an ensemble, it did feel like we're telling the story through your eyes. So when you get the call that you're #1 on the call sheet in the Marvel movie, what are we thinking? What's going through our head?
Hugely grateful.
Yeah.
I'm still grateful now. You know, when I played the part of Yelena 6 years ago in Black Widow, it was, you know, it's such an opening of a conversation, and it always feels like that. It's like, it feels lucky to be in any of them, and maybe you hope, fingers crossed, someday you might be in another. So the fact that, like, this was the next movie that I got to be a part of, I don't take that lightly. It was a huge, huge honor, and I'm very, very grateful that this was the version of the movie that we got to tell.
Oh, yeah!
So what, do we all just punch and shoot?
We are the Thunderbolts! Can't call ourselves that.
Thank God.
The Thunderbolts. It's a cool name.
And we got introduced to you doing that kind of Tom Cruise type of
Yes.
stunt right off the building. I wonder, because a lot of people would have said, enter stuntman, it's cool. But why, you know, David's like, yeah.
Yeah, I would have said that.
You would have said that. Well, why was that so important for you to say, nah, this is something I gotta do?
Well, I like being involved in the physical stuff anyway. And sometimes there are things that are just far too dangerous that the stunties are like, no, we're gonna do that. And no matter how much training you do, it just looks better when they do it. So I appreciate that, like, there could have obviously been a very talented person do that stunt for me, and it would have still looked fantastic. I just really, first of all, I love heights, and that just seemed like such an amazing challenge.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Said no one ever.
I love heights, and it felt like an amazing challenge. And just the fact that I was going to be able to do it in the safest possible way with the most fantastic stunt team. And I got to do it in a Marvel movie, and it was going to be filmed, that was documented forever, and then I could show people.
It looked incredible.
I did that. What, I mean,
when you saw
when
it,
else
were
am I
you
going to
like,
do that?
Holy like, were you so hyped? Because it looked bad. It was bad.
It was a mental process. We did it for 2 days. We did 1 day of rehearsals, and then the second day was the shoot day.
Yeah.
So between the 2 days, I jumped off it 9 times. The only issue with it was because it's such a tall building, it gets a lot of lightning alerts, and when the lightning is coming, everybody has to get off the roof immediately, and that takes about 20 minutes for everybody to clear. So sometimes there were as big a gaps of 2 hours between each time that I was jumping, and each time I go back up, we have to do all of the safety precautions again. So there were 2 times where I got clipped in. So this is now like maybe 2 hours after the last potential jumping time. I got clipped in, and they'd go, oh, lightning alert, everybody off again. Yeah. So just my nerves
that would
were
talk
just
me
shot.
right out of it.
So by the time I was actually able to jump off, I was like, get me off, I'm done with this adrenaline building.
David's like, you've just talked me out of ever doing anything.
I like being on the ground, eating a nice chocolate chip cookie, having a coffee.
David Harbour, you have a very honest face, so I'm just wondering.
Too honest sometimes.
See? Right? Exactly. Is there, in fact, like a Marvel boot camp? Or does everybody just do their own, like, thing, working out, trying to get in shape? Because we hear these stories about, like, there's a Marvel boot camp and everybody, like, works out.
There is a guy. There's a couple guys.
Okay.
There's a couple guys who like float around and like we had a guy.
Yeah, but I've never been to a boot camp though.
No, and they do sort of. I mean, it's kind of up to you, like what your involvement wants to be.
Okay.
And the fun thing about, you know, I did want Red Guardian to feel like a big Russian bear. Yeah, like a bit, you know. But I mean, I remember Jake, the director, I started working out, my arms were getting big and my shoulders and stuff, and he came up to me very earnestly and was like, David, do not get ripped. And I was like, Jake, you needn't worry. You can sleep well tonight.
I got
you.
But no, Red Guardian was snatched a bit. Like,
oh,
you look good in your
right.
suit, fella.
Thank you.
You
All
look
right.
good. Yes, you did.
Not too many close-ups.
Can I ask you both, because I know that you both have a real love for Pedro Pascal, and he came to the UK premiere. What is it about him that has all of us, like, he's all of our boyfriend. Like, we all love him.
I wish.
You know?
I mean, can I tell you Pedro Pascal's story?
Yes, I would love one.
I've known Pedro Pascal since I was 17 years old.
What?
Because we went to Northwestern Cherubs together.
No way.
And we were in the same play and called Wojciech by George Buchner. And we auditioned for roles. And this is how mad I am at Pedro Pascal. he got the lead. Even back then,
Oh.
he was so talented.
He was still that guy.
And attractive. And I've been mad at him for 30 years.
It's also
since
just that he's so unbelievably kind. You just instantly feel like he's your friend, and I think we all, you know, as audience members and also people in the industry, that's just so needed. Having someone that is so pure and stands up for the right things and is just a good human.
Yeah.
It's lovely to find a good human.